Welcome, everybody. Happiest of Tuesdays to you. How are you doing today? For Jay, I'm honored to be your getting ready for sleepy time stream. I will do my best to make a nice relaxing time here for you. Keldon, Katana, what's up? Very busy, but I'm very happy I could catch you. I'm happy you could too. It's always good to see you, Katana. Ron, lovely to see you. How are you? And I think I got everybody. Oh, I need to put on the YouTube chat over here. But yeah, I'm feeling good. Every day, my allergies, seasonal allergies are getting better and better, which is such a relief. I've gotten through the worst of it. I'm extremely sensitive to tree pollen, especially here in Nashville, Tennessee, where it's like one of the highest pollen counts in the country. But it's getting better. I'm able to breathe a little deeper each day, so that's awesome. There we go. For Dr. Han, welcome. Happy Tuesday to you as well. Captain Taft, Captain. Happy Tuesday to you from warm weather, NYC, New York, baby. I haven't been to New York City for a minute. There was a time where my sister lived in Manhattan, and I have the funniest, happiest, craziest memories of hopping on the train from Boston and going up and staying with her for a weekend. It was silly fun times. Day off on Thursday though, so just need to hold out for one more day before I can sleep properly. You can do this, Jay, I believe in you. For Twitch Guy 2, yay, I assumed you would not stream today. So I came running when I saw your alert. Oh, that's so sweet. Now I know why my dog does that when I come home, right? Kimchi sometimes runs to the door when I come home, but usually he just peeks his eyes above his cat bed and just stares at me. But it's very cute. It's very cute. For Catador, how are you? Did you stream today? I looked for you in the morning, but then I saw Will, and I was like, I haven't said hi to Will for a while, so I feel like I should drop in. But yeah, I'm in a good mood. After stream today, I'm going to have my wonderful bandmate Jessie come over, and we are going to record the last 2 violin songs for the next Creature Comfort album. I'm so excited to know that I've done my part and it's done. This album recording has been challenging for me in some respects because some of the songs we really wanted more of like a rock country vibe. And even though I live in Nashville, that's not necessarily, I think, my strong suit. But I really pushed myself, and what I do in prep for things like this is I'll Google, or YouTube rather, as many country solos as I can and watch what they do and write down random excerpts of what they're playing so I can look at what common themes are with violin solos. And then I look up country guitar solos as well. And the main reason I do that is because each instrument plays solos that are well suited for their instrument. So forcing yourself to learn a piece done by another instrument, I feel like gives you a whole new perspective and a tool set that can make you stand out and sound unique. So I did that, and we got all the country stuff done, thank goodness. Now the 2 that are left are more like experimental, really beautiful atmospheric ballads. And that is my jam. So it is the best choice for me to finish this album on. I adore recording on things like that. It's so relaxing, and I just feel like it's what I gravitate towards myself. Just interesting chord progressions and trying to create a feeling rather than shredding. The idea of shredding is like very intimidating to me. One of my roommates just started snoring intensely. Do you have earplugs? One trick I used to do if I forgot my earplugs at a show is if you get toilet paper and make it a little damp so it all compresses and condenses, I put that in my ears, which obviously isn't as good as earplugs, but it's something. For Hedges, good to see you. How are you today? I joined the team, and of course, for 2069, you deserve it. This is all thanks to our wonderful friend Jay here, who was super generous, but also very naughty, but also super generous, but also shame on you, but also thank you. For Crystal, what's up? We heard that from a billion miles away. Oh, the snoring? Or what we hearing? What we hearing? Also, I'm so excited. I told you guys how I'm a big fan of thrifting and finding used clothing, not only for the price point, but it's also better for the environment. And with summer upon us, and it's about to get really hot here in Nashville, I ordered a bunch of dresses, and this one came in, and I love it so much. It's so cute. Got these sleeve cutouts, and it's sheer in the back. It's so cute. I love it. Come on. It's so pretty. And I feel like when I wear this kind of color, it makes my eyes look almost like a little greener. My eyes are definitely still baby blues, but it's like my favorite color, this kind of like blue-green, like a teal. I love. It is a little big for me, so what I do for those circumstances is I have these like little clips that are designed to clip onto fabric and stay in place. So if I'm thrifting and I find something that's a little too big, sometimes I just buy it and I do the little clips in the back to make sure it's actually seated right. It is still a little big, but I mean, it was a great price, especially for this brand. I love this brand, and I got it for $30, and they're usually like at least $150, so I am stoked. We're watching movies, leave us alone. Okay, sorry. I read an article that in my country, Belgium, people on average buy 19 kg of textile a year, so it's so absurd if you think about it. Yeah, especially fast fashion I did some research into, and it's pretty terrible for the environment. The only reason I've started thinking about these things more, of course it's like my core beliefs, but my dad, upon entering retirement, is using that extra time to do a ton of research and attend meetings and try his best to make a difference in the world of like climate change and environmental issues and things that we can do to preserve our planet. And I've always loved, getting dressed up. But I learned about certain companies that use what they call fast fashion, and obviously for ethical reasons of the work conditions, that was one reason, but the other was seeing the big impact on the planet. So it's also just kind of fun. It feels like a scavenger hunt, and what I love so much about the websites that I use for thrifting is the girls that send out their clothes almost always write a little personal note in it, or like give you a sticker or something, and they're like, I wore this like on a really good date and I hope it brings you good luck. Like, I have so many little messages like that from participating in these thrifting trading clothes websites. It's really fun. I really like it. Congratulations on your 68 votes towards becoming the new queen. Honestly, I was honored. I was so surprised. On Andy's stream, is she still alive? I think she probably is still alive. She's doing like a mega long stream. She was doing this thing where you could vote for who would be the next queen of her channel for 5 years. And since I rated, I got nominated, and people actually voted. I was so honored. But I'll be real, I put all my votes towards pencils. No offense to the other beautiful candidates. I would have voted for them all. But I do have a deep appreciation and love for the queen of my life, Pencils 45, and all he's done to help me here on Twitch. So I wanted to honor my alliance with the beautiful queen that is Pencils 45. No, Andy ended up winning the queen, which, let's be honest, that makes sense. It's what should happen. But low-key, I think I'm going to message her after stream and ask if she'd be okay if maybe I booked a plane and went up and did a collab with her. Yes, I really like Andy. I did get to meet her in person for TwitchCon Vegas, and she was the first person that I hung out with. I was in line to pick up my badge, and I was hungry, and there was just a bagel place across the street, and she met up with me, and we had lunch together, and it was so nice. It was really, really just comfy immediately and cozy and happy, and she's a beautiful person on top of a wonderful talent. But yes. So I can blame Pencils not winning. Blame Pencils not winning on Pencils. He gave his best effort, I will say that. He really did. 2 queens for 1 stream would be awesome. Maybe I'll surprise her and bring 2 little tiaras so we can have a nice little moment. What's her at? She is Andy the Frenchie. I'll type it in chat for you. But we both started on Twitch around the same time, and our growth was really similar to each other, so we've been rooting each other on from the beginning, you know? I definitely feel like an alliance towards the other streamers that started in my time for music, and seeing us still at it 5.5 years later, it's just like a beautiful thing to see, you know? Thank you, Gatthedora. Vegas was so much fun. It was so much fun, but too much walking and too much hot. Too much hot. I swear I got heat stroke on like the 3rd day. I went out to this bar where a bunch of Twitch streamers were performing. I had 1 beer and had the worst pain in my stomach ever. Maybe not ever, but top 3 stomach pains. And I tried eating something. I'm like, maybe I didn't eat enough, and I was drinking a bunch of water after that. And it was just so bad. So I had to call it an early night, which was kind of a bummer, but at least it happened on a day where I wasn't performing. On the last day of TwitchCon, I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to perform not only with Dan Clancy, CEO of Twitch, on the main stage, but then I also participated in a fabulous event put together by the pianist here on Twitch, Julie, and we did a set together, which was really special. It was an outdoor area, but like kind of still in the more urban area. So there's these wonderful tall buildings and vibey apartments and graffiti, and it was just so fun. It was so cool. Spice Icy, welcome. How are you today? Also Scotty, welcome, and Dan, Ban. I hope everyone's doing well. Mario. So I think what I'm going to do today, we did our last warm-up on stream for the Unravel piece, but I'm going to do the other Unravel piece that I like to do at the beginning. Ben, you're wonderful. You are all wonderful. Never forget that. Oh my gosh, it's Butley pooping too. Butley, I got a new dress in the mail and I feel like a real lady. Look at this cute little used dress I got. I love it. It's these arm cutouts and lovely sleeves. It's so cute. I love. Oh, it makes me so happy. I love it so much. Edible Dragon, thank you. It's more of like a blue-green color, but this camera kind of makes everything look a little bit darker. But anyway, I'm going to play Summer Sky for our first one today. It's so pretty, right? I'm so excited. And my favorite thing about it is it's a brand that I really like and always want to purchase, but it's always out of my price range. So finding a used one, I was on that. I was on it. For Min Control Sloth, you look gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I was having kind of a self-conscious day yesterday with being on camera. I wasn't happy with how I looked that day, but we all have those days. So there's nothing like a new, fresh outfit to make you feel excited and kind of fresh and new, you know? So let's see. I want to do Summer Sky. This one's really pretty. Since I'm doing my recording session that's kind of folky after this, I might pick a bunch of folk styled songs today to get me in the mood. But our priority requests are open for anyone that would like one. And until then, I'm just gonna fill up the song list with things that I really like. And I hope you do too. Well, if you ever need someone to tell you how to light up a room, I can do that much. Wait, you mean like your personality, which obviously does that, or actual lighting tips? Because I do need that help. Whenever I film a YouTube video, I have like a good 3 hours just playing with lights and not knowing what I'm doing. You were just having cosplay withdrawal that day? That makes so much sense. And that's so true. I'm still missing the cosplay week. Okay. Let's play some violin. Neither of us are formally queens, but we can plan another rebellion. Very true. I don't know why, but the first thing that came to mind when I read Rebellion, I thought of the Boston Tea Party. Probably as I'm obsessed with Boston since I grew up in that area. So I imagined me and Pencils just showing up at Andy's place, throwing a bunch of used, damp Lipton tea bags at her windows and seeing if they would like stick to the windows, and then like slowly drag down. That's what I imagine our rebellion would be. Yeah, I'll be like, hey, I'm here for the collab, and then just do that instead. She's like, are you gonna come up and play? I'm like, no. This is my rebellion. Our rebellion, my apologies. I love that one too. It's so simple and yet clean. It's just nice. Joe Star International Incident Channel coming soon. Oh, Joe starts International Incident. I see. That makes more sense. Simple and clean. We can do that. Why not? Why not? Let me load it over here. I do have a recording session after stream today, but we're actually doing it using my setup, so I'm still probably going to go for my 3-hour stint, but I might end a little earlier to make sure I get dinner before the recording session starts. I am meeting up with the wonderful lead singer of the band I'm a part of, Creature Comfort, and we are going to record the final 2 tracks that have violin missing from them. But I'm so excited because the last 2, they're so like experimental. Not experimental, but they're more like, they're just my style. I'm going to ask Jesse actually real quick if I could attempt playing over these on stream. He might say no, which is totally understandable because we haven't released this music yet, but it might be fun trying, and you guys would get sincerely the first look at what it might sound like with me playing over it. Let me see. Would you mind if I played over the tracks on stream to practice? If you'd rather wait for them to be released, that totally makes sense. Cool. We'll see what he has to say. How long are recording sessions for you usually? It depends. Because usually when I get booked for a session, they either want a single violin line, like a solo instrument, or they want like me to record 6 to 7 layers to make it sound like an ensemble's playing. I would say those are my strength. I prefer to do those rather than the singular violin strings because I feel like I just have a lot more room to be creative and like build colors, if that makes sense. But typically, if it's like a single track, I can get that done probably within 30 minutes. And if we're getting into a more orchestrated thing, then that could be like maybe 45 to an hour, depending on how far they want to go. Usually when I work with artists, they get, understandably, yes, I do this too excited. They're like, let's record 10 more violin tracks, like with just a bunch of harmonies and stuff. It's hard to stop once you start because you just want to make this big orchestra on a recording. And typically, if you are recording, I don't know if this is interesting or not, but if you're recording for an artist and they want it to sound like a group of string players, what you do is you record every part you are playing twice. So it sounds like different players are playing together. And you use, even though it's the same part, both recordings at the same time. Sometimes they even stagger them ever so slightly and pan them. Panning is when it goes to one headphone more than the other. So it sounds like you're sitting surrounded by string players. And ideally, what some people like to do is match it to what the setup of a traditional orchestra would be, which is violins on the left, violin 2, Like, so left side we have violin 1, violin 2, violas, cellos. And so sometimes they like to match that and then maybe make the second player on the other side, but very quiet. So the hard part is less is more to times. Yes. One of my favorite interviews by one of my favorite artists that I read was Casey Musgraves. I adore Casey Musgraves. Oh my God, she's my queen. But I guess people called her the axe in the studio because on her tracks, she really wanted only enough to be there. And so she would constantly cut out solos and too much layering because she wanted this pure, purposeful sound. And that's something I've tried to keep in mind for myself when I try to arrange things. Queen, there's a lot of queens today. I have had queens on my mind since that stream. As I was nominated for Queen, I was actually in the Taco Bell drive-thru, so that was something. I was like, ah, yes, this is so true. Oh, I said I would do simple and clean, so let's do that. That's a new sentence for me. True queen behavior. Gonna pause our background playlist. For Simple and Clean, I really love playing over a wonderful pianist performance. Their channel on YouTube is called Moises Nieto, and they have countless videos that are just breathtaking. So please check them out if you enjoy. And this track also starts very soft, but will get louder. So if it's soft, just give it a minute. Shimmery, what's up? It's always good to see you. How are you? Chris, it was you who nominated? Oh, I'm honored. I almost said I'm nominated. As I was nominated for Queen, I was in the Taco Bell drive-thru. That's just the kind of queen I would be, you know? Ooh, that sounds so summery and yummy for Shimmery. Got it, Jay. I'm so proud of myself. Me playing that high on the violin was not something that happened when I first started streaming. Even going into third position, which is like 4 slots lower than what I was just at, was so scary for me. And so it feels so empowering to just be able to like be a bit more fearless with it. I can thank her for so many reasons, but that is one of the gifts that I really got from taking lessons with Julia. I remember, so positions on the violin, when you see my hand go up and down the neck, you are landing in certain positions. The lowest is 1, and then you work your way up, position 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. I had a moment with my lessons with Julia where I asked, oh, but what position should I end up in? And she was like, eventually you're going to reach a point where you're not going to think about the violin neck as positions anymore. And it's just you going to reach a note and being comfortable in that spot and just working around it. And so having such a person whom I respect for their instrument so much, hearing her say that worrying about positions was like not something I needed to do anymore was very, very empowering. Chris got your PS5 today, let's go! There's one game that I think just came out that I'm totally going to get once I get back from my trip. What's it called? It's a Claire Obscure Expedition 33. It looks amazing. It looks so freaking good. And it's totally going to be the first game that I play on my PS5, and I'm very excited. I was biking when you started streaming. I've only been alive for a little bit for Peter. Also, fantastic news, you guys. I mentioned how I have a recording session after stream today. It's for the band I play for, Creature Comfort. And I asked the lead singer if he would mind if I played over the tracks on stream. And he said, do it! Exclamation point. So that will be fun. Because I haven't tried to play these yet. You still haven't played on it yet? Chris, don't judge me. I have been really busy. I have been. And these are examples of like, there's, with Creature Comfort, I think kind of like 3 vibes that you get, like kind of a classic alt rock vibe, and then like a little folk rock, and then just like gorgeous ballad. And Jesse, sincerely, I think has the best voice of any male singer that I have met. Immediately, I used to go to Creature Comfort shows because I loved how they sounded so much. And then one day I got the text being like, hey, would you be interested in like doing a session for us and playing some violin? And I was so excited. I recorded on 3 songs, 2 or 3. And this is some business advice for those trying to work in like a very collaborative space. I knew that they were entering a band competition that weekend. And so I was like, hey, I already learned these songs. So if you want to have me on a song for the competition, have like a little edge by adding another instrument, let me know. And we were tired at the end. So I think I misread the energy. Like they were kind of like, yeah, maybe. And then sure enough, they asked me to play for the show. We won the competition and got some featured spots for national shows after that. And so then when I knew there was more shows, I was like, hey, I learned another couple songs if you guys want to try violin for another couple. They're like, sure. And then the next gig, I was like, hey, I actually learned the whole set. Could I like play the whole set? They're sure. And then surely enough, by the end of that show, I was like, so am I in the band now? And they were like, yeah. I'm like, yes. So sometimes you got to pave your own opportunities. And the worst thing that might happen is they say no, and it's not a big deal. But yeah, I definitely, I forced my way in that band. I was like, I want to be here. I like you guys. I like the music. Let me do it. So we do tour outside of Nashville sometimes. It is a bit hard with some of the players' work schedules at this point. I don't want to divulge anyone else's work or anything that they might not share on the internet, but they're just busy. But maybe in the summertime, I think we're trying to plan a few. Can I hear Subterranean Homesick Alien for Peter? Of course. I do owe Jay an Octopath song of my choice. Jay, do you care if it's Octopath Traveler 1 or 2? I think when it comes to especially like the arts and performance, you really have to make as many opportunities for yourself as possible. So I told you guys before that when I first moved here, I would bring my violin everywhere I went and just pretend I came from a rehearsal or something. So I'd go to see a venue where I knew a bunch of bands played, and I'd go with my violin. And my teacher at Berkeley told me that's your business card. Your instrument's your business card, so you don't leave your house without it. And it totally worked. Like there was moments, there's this one venue that I highly recommend out in Franklin called Kimbro's. And I went there and I was just watching the show and a guitarist came up to me and he went, "Do you play?" And I was like, "Yes." And he goes, "Do you play good?" And even though I still doubted myself a lot, I looked him dead in the eye and I was like, "Yep." He was like, "Great, I'm going on in 30 minutes. I want you on stage with me." And I did the set. And there was good moments and then there was bad moments, but I did it. And I was so proud of myself. When I got in my car at the end of the night, my hands were just shaking because I was so nervous, but I just put my dad on and my mom and dad on the speaker for the phone and had it held up on the holder and just told them, I was like, "I played my first show in Nashville. I did it. I did it." They were like, "What? We didn't know you were even playing with anybody." I'm like, "I'm not. I just went somewhere and just had my violin." It worked out. So taking those risks is definitely, I think, an important, scary, but really helpful thing when you're trying to meet more people within your space and you want to advance in it. Go to the places where you know they're meeting up and make sure you bring something so that they know you're one of them. And then just go for it. I'm going to do a piece called The Coastlands from Octopath Traveler for Jay. For Dance Electric, welcome. How are you today? I don't know why that pizzicato at the end just like tickles me. It does. Jay, thank you. You've been such an amazing supporter that has really helped me recently, so thank you. Wait, we're talking about pizza? You guys, you don't talk about food to a streamer, because then they'll just think about food. And now I'm just thinking about all the food in the whole world that I've ever wanted to eat in my whole life. But I can't. Ah, it's okay. Ooh, let's do the Frostlands. This is a more recent learn I did from Octopath Traveler 2. For Peter, I'm totally gonna get to Subterranean. If it's okay, I just want to do like 2 more Octopath songs. I know you guys make fun of me when I say if it's okay. But you know, like, especially for those who support the channel and help me keep pursuing music, I want to just show you that I want to do something in return, you know? This is the perfect dress for a violin gig. I love gigs that bring attention to my arms because the violin really is so arm heavy. I'm definitely wearing this for a gig. Chris, hey, zip it. No pizza talk. I just said that. How dare you? How dare you? Crystal, oh my gosh, you guys. How dare you do this to me? For Geek, having a bad week, in parentheses, weeks. Thanks for the cheer up. I'm so sorry to hear that, Geek. I'll do my best to try and play something to give you a moment of a feeling of a hug. I put that song list in chat for you if there's anything you'd like to hear. Just let me know. Heather, what's up? We'll keep that in mind when I inevitably have to hire you. Ooh, what position are we talking about? I'm still trying to figure out if I want to play on this intro or not. Maybe just pizzicato. That's kind of cute. For Keldon, I see your message. I just started watching Perfect Blue last night, but fell asleep. Need to finish it. Dude, proceed with caution, but I finally watched Perfect Blue. It's known as kind of being... It's like a cult classic, amazing anime, Japanese film. But it is very difficult to watch in some moments, especially if you're sensitive to things like physical assault. But oh my gosh, it was insane. I'm still thinking about it. I've been watching all these YouTube videos explaining what they feel like the movie is about and what happens in it. Because it's very disorienting. It's very scary at times. But I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop thinking about it. For Catherine Shepard, thank you very much for the follow. I really appreciate it. I didn't say no bad words. I did say quietly into the mic, okay? Yes, I'm not used to having a mic that can pick up my voice when I'm playing the violin, so I should remember that on stage if I play a note I don't like, to remind myself that people can hear me if I speak or yell or do anything. For Jules, thank you! This is my latest thrift find, and I'm so deeply in love with it. I love it so much. It is so cute. It's so cute! Has a little bow tie here. Kind of hard to see on camera. And the back's so pretty. I love it so much. It's so pretty. I wanted to get a handful of a couple. I bought 3 dresses because with summer coming up, as you can imagine, in Nashville, Tennessee, it gets very, very hot. Very, very hot. For Dan, thank you for an $11.41 dono. A very specific number that made a very specific number. Look how beautiful that is. 4321. Thank you so much. Thank you. All this support helps me remain a full-time musician. And this support means the world to me, you guys. Zuzo, it's great to see you. How has 8 months passed? I feel like it was like just the other day you popped in. But thank you both of you. Please let me know if I can play something for either of you. I'd love to. No pressure if you're just chilling. And with that, my friends, it's already been an hour. And I need a quick break just to use the restroom. I realized like right when I started I needed to, but I was like, no, go for an hour. Go for an hour. Go for an hour. And I did. Well, a couple pennies shy, but pretty close. So I'm going to take my first break, and when we come back, I have a priority request from the wonderful Peter, who wants to hear Subterranean Homesick Alien. This is one that I do as a loop performance, so it will be our introduction for looping today. That is you! Alright, I'll be right back, everybody. Thank you so much. Jules, you're so iconic. Keldon said Jules is Joe Play Sassy AF. And Jules said purr. I love that. I love that so much. I gotta see one of your streams again soon. I feel like I haven't seen you live for a bit. But your stream was really fun. I had a good time hanging out there. So, I almost called you Frank for Peter. I don't know why. I didn't need to disclose that, but it made me laugh. I don't know why I almost called you Frank. Anyway, your comment reminded me that I got a very thoughtful gift from Tripwire for my birthday. As you know, or maybe you don't know, I've embarked on a journey of fitness. I've always been like fairly in shape to a degree, but I really want to push myself. So I've been going to the gym like 5 days a week and really getting into running. And with that, I've had some problems that have arisen, which I almost regret sharing, but no, I overshared. That's who I am. That's fine. So I was gifted this book. Very, very helpful. Tripwire bows. I'm shocked it's this much information. Obviously it's gonna cover more than just this, but that's a lot of information. I really want to leave it in my bathroom, but I'm scared that when one of my students comes to the house for me to teach them, and I don't think she would find this amusing, but I find it amusing, and that would be a good place for it. So, I don't know. I don't know if maybe I just move it before I teach her, but let's be real, I'll forget every single time. So, yeah. I don't think she'd be surprised. We've known each other for like 8 years, but she's just like a lovely woman in her 60s. So I don't want to be too much. I think when she first entered this office after it became the stream room and saw like all of my video game mugs all there and like I had Scotty Bear, my long Furby up here, she never said a word about it. I was like, oh, I want to know what you think of long Furby so bad. Anyway, so that was really funny. Don't tell me, ICYMI, if I can't if could you memory issues. I have no idea what that stands for. I suck at acronyms. Just in case? Oh, in case you missed it. In case, yep, oh, yeah, okay. That makes sense. All right. Embarrassingly, I didn't know what GG meant until like 2 years I was on Twitch. And I kept seeing people say GG, and I was like, what is that? But now I just ask, because, you know, you only learn if you ask questions, right? So, yep, that's it. So we are going to do, for Peter, Subterranean Homesick Alien. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything else. Looks like we're up to date. What's this? Huh. Yeah, and also Keck, that I still don't really get that one. I know it means laughing, right? But I don't know why. I know what a noob is, though. Which is me. No, I'm okay. I'm okay at gaming. Oh no, the money number isn't funny anymore. That is true. We've lost the silly number. Subterranean Homesick Alien time. golly, I need to organize this hard drive. It is a mess up in here. I've slowly but surely been creating this new folder on my hard drive, which is where I store everything. I just explained what a hard drive does. Anyway. I made a point to make a new folder because I was feeling kind of discouraged a bit about my looping capabilities. And so I made a folder where eventually I want that to be the main one, and it's called Dream Set. And in Dream Set, I have all of the things that I have really cleanly arranged and ready to be performed without having to like redo a bunch of stuff. And I'm just slowly but surely going through all of the loops that we have and making sure that eventually they all end up in Dream Set. You explained so we wouldn't confuse it for a soft drive. You said something else earlier, ASMR, that made me laugh. But I was playing music. Oh, what was it? It was technically a play on words, but I liked it. Let's not get too excited, though. I doubt I'm coming around to puns anytime soon, but I don't know. Okay. For this one, I like to layer a whole bunch of strings, so I already did. Oh, Kimbros was Kimchi's, like, brother or something. That was good. I liked that. So for this, I already pre-recorded our guitar, and I made these kind of funky drums to go along with it. Let's test the chorus percussion. That feels good. Might be a little loud for you guys. I think it's okay. Up above, aliens hover, making home movies for the folks back home. Of all these weird creatures lost in their spirit, grieve souls themselves and live for their secrets. They're all uptight, they'd swoop down in a country lane late at night when I'm driving. Take me on board their beautiful ships, show me the world as I'd love to see. I tell all my friends, but they never believe me. Think I'd finally lost it completely. I'd show them the stars and the meaning of life. They'd shut me away, but I'll be alright. Alright, they're all uptight, uptight. Up above, aliens hover, making home movies for the folks back home. Of all these weird creatures who lost in their spirits, give souls to themselves and live for their secrets. Tell all my friends, but they never believe me. Think I'd finally lost it completely. I'd show them the stars and the meaning of life. They shut me away, but I'll be alright. Alright, they're uptight, uptight. Yay, I'm so happy with that today. That was so fun. It also has such a special place in my heart, that song. For personal reasons, I started getting really into Radiohead when I was in high school. And I remember I was working at Starbucks, and that was my first like food industry sort of style job, which I was having a hard time with. There's so many types of drinks, and charging the or figuring it out on the register was like a nightmare for me. It was so hard. And I would just get in the car and blast Radiohead on the way home, and it always made me feel better. But it also gives me sentimental good feels because Pencils reminded me of how much I loved Radiohead by sending me this amazing link to a concert, Brahms versus Radiohead. And when I started looping, I wanted to learn a song that I knew each of the mods really liked. And so I made Subterranean Homesick Alien my goal for Pencils. And I love it. I got to see Radiohead live once when I lived in Boston, and it was so fun. I was friends with these guys that were in a band called Art Decade, and since they were touring a bunch, they had a van, and so they filled up the van with a bunch of us, and we drove to see Radiohead, and it was so fun. It was so fun. It was awesome. And that's one of my favorite loops to do, so mission accomplished. I gotta top this one. I feel like this is one of the Radiohead songs are some of the better ones I think that I do. So I gotta figure it out. I think my next St. Vincent one is gonna be really good though. I've started toying around with it and I think it's gonna be cool. I just need a little more work on it. Just getting familiar with like the song arrangement and how to play it properly. You know what we haven't done in a minute is Mr. Tillman. I feel like that used to be a guaranteed every single stream, and it's actually been a little while, so why don't we do that? At some point, I am going to pause the requests because I mentioned at the top of the stream that I have a recording session after stream today, and I was sent the songs, and I want to be able to mess around with them before we do your formal cover of the Joe Plays Violin Poop song. If I did any song cover by... Oh, what's this artist's name? The odd man who sings about poop and pee? I'm so embarrassed I don't remember this. Odd man... Yeah. So there's this artist that I love called The Odd Man that sings about poop, puke, and pee. And I had the amazing gift for my birthday where we had members of the community reach out to him and paid him to write a Joe Plays Violin Poop song, which is really, really good. But there's another one that he does that has more lyrics in it that I think I could do a really good job with because I did learn all the lyrics. I was just laying on my couch one day and was like, I need to learn this entire song. And so I did. Yep, that's that. Now, is this format correct? I think I finally fixed everything where it should be all the right inputs. Oh, just the bass. We gotta switch to input 4. Everything else looks right. I don't know if I'm gonna get claimed. Oh my god, Kamira, do you not know the lore? What's the... There's this clip. It's like Joe's biggest secret, right? Okay, Hedges, we were on the same page there, but I guess it's something else. I found this artist, the odd man that sings about poop, puke, and pee, because if you go on Spotify and search your name and then poop after, there's an original song written where the only lyrics are your name and poop. So there's a Joe Poop song. And me and my friends were thinking that this was the funniest thing we've ever seen. Yeah, there's the clip. I mean, should we just watch it together? So many of you guys already know this. But me and my girlfriends, again, thought that this was very, very funny. And I was talking with them in a group chat before I started stream. So I pressed start stream and ran downstairs to like get a glass of water or something. And I didn't realize that when I played the link on my phone that it would go straight to OBS. So everyone heard what I was listening to and I had no idea. So here's the clip of that, which is very funny. Wait, why is it a question mark? Wait, let me try that again. What did I do wrong? Maybe I just didn't copy the browser link properly. Okay, let's try this again. But yeah, I had no idea that everyone was listening to me listen to this man's song about poop. And I was live. And I sat down at my computer and just saw everyone in chat being very confused. Here it is. There we go. And I was so embarrassed, but also thought it was the funniest thing that I've ever heard in my entire life. Wait, did you guys not hear it loud enough? Okay, control audio via OBS.
Every single time that I go poop, I love my toilet paper. It cleans my dirty butt. I got no poop in there after.
Okay, let's do it from the top. Never mind. We'll just let it restart again. But yeah, it was like the funniest thing ever. I was so embarrassed, but recognizing that it was the funniest thing ever.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
It was playing for like a full 2 minutes.
Oh my god, I'm crying.
It was just so funny seeing chat all being like, what's going on? I'm confused.
I love my toilet paper. It cleans my dirty butt. I got no poop in there after.
Oh god. Yeah, that was Snap. That's the lore behind that. I should just keep that in OBS. Let me label it so that I know what it is. I'll say the poop song. But that was probably one of the funniest things that's ever happened on this channel. It was so funny. But I know every lyric to that song. Yes, then when it became like kind of a meme within our own community, I was like, I have to learn the whole thing. So I know every word to that song. What was I gonna do, Mr. Tillman? Okay. I love my toilet paper. It cleans my dirty butt. I got no poop in there after I am done wiping. If we do a level 5 hype train, maybe I'll do the whole song. That's pretty shameful. Okay, enough. This is a song about a strange man named Mr. Tillman. Oh, you know what? Actually, before I start, let's get that radio voice. Yes, I like the idea of like the intercom being the radio effect. Oh, did I already do it? I already did it. Good job, girl. Let's see if it works. Attention. Check, check, 1, 2. Excuse me, I don't hear it working. Maybe I have to press record. Sometimes I have to do that for it to work properly. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check. What? Maybe... Okay, I'll do this too. An anonymous gifter gifted a sub to Dirty Butt. Thank you very much. That would work very well in this community. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, 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 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Check, 1, 2. Let me fix our balance here. Something is not right. Also, the kick is like way too loud. Sorry guys, I'll fix this in just a second. Oh, there's my radio voice. Alright, I fixed that kick drum so it's not as aggressive. Sorry. Oh my god, that's so scary. That wasn't very good, huh? Let's try that again. Sorry about the ear blood, my bad. Why is that so loud, the piano? There we go, that should be better. Well, I need a little bit more than that. I have a patch I like better that we're gonna do instead. Sorry. Damn it! I haven't done this for a bit. Okay, I can do this. Alright, let's get our violin pizzicatos. Oh, the hype train started! Thank you guys, Peter and Mario, for the bits, and Anonymous Gifter. If you guys complete the level 5, I'll sing the song that I know, the embarrassing one. Mr. Tillman, please report to the main lobby. There seems to be an issue with your reservation. Thank you, once again, Mr. Tillman. Mr. Tillman, good to see you again. There's a few outstanding charges just before you check you in. Let's see, you left your passport in the mini fridge, and the message with the desk says here the picture isn't and oh, just a reminder about our policy. Don't leave your mattress in the rain if you sleep on the balcony. Okay, babe, you and your guests have a pleasant stay. What a beautiful tattoo that young man had on his face. And oh, will you need a driver out to Philly? Jason is best here as well. He seemed a little worried about you. I'm feeling good, damn, I'm feeling so fine. I'm living on a cloud, on an island in my mind. Oh baby, alarm, this is just my vibe. No, I hate to walk around. No, it's not that bad. No. Do you guys like the radio effect? I'm asking that while everyone's saying no in chat. Okay, we do like it? Or no? Alright, we'll commit. Let's do this. Mr. Tillman, for the 7th time, we have no knowledge of the film that is being shot outside. Those aren't extras in a movie, there are clientele. No, they are rehearsing lines, and they aren't exactly filled. Would you like a regalo on the patio? Is there someone we can call? Perhaps you shouldn't drink alone. No, I'm feeling good, damn, I'm feeling so fine. I'm living on a cloud, on an island in the mind. Oh baby, don't be alarmed, this is just my vibe. No, I hate to walk around. No, it's not that bad. No, no. Let's get a little violin solo up in here, up in here. Thank you. Mr. Tillman, for the 7th time, we have no knowledge of a film that is being shot outside. Those aren't extras in a movie, there are clientele. No, they aren't rehearsing lines, and they aren't exactly filled. Would you like a regalo on the patio? Is there someone we can call? Perhaps you shouldn't drink alone. Yeah, if we complete level 5, I'm gonna sing you the poop song. But if we don't, then
No, I'm feeling good, damn, I'm feeling so fine. I'm living on an island in the night. So baby, don't be alarmed, this is just my vibe. No, they hate to walk around. No, it's not that bad a plan. No, I'm feeling good, damn, I'm feeling so fine. I'm living on a cloud, on an island in the night. So baby, don't be alarmed, this is just my vibe. No, they hate to walk around. No, it's not that bad a plan. No, I'm feeling good, damn, I'm feeling so fine. I'm living on an island in the night. So baby, don't be alarmed, this is just my vibe. No, they hate to walk around. No, it's not that bad a plan.
Radio voice was fun. There's definitely some things I need to like tinker with on it, because it's easier to peak when you crank the EQ in that certain position. So I will only get better at that the more I practice it, I promise y'all. I don't know if that would blend really well for ASMR, but I appreciate the creativity. Whenever we have a hype train, I can't help myself but play a particular song that brings me so much joy. So I'm just going to do it. It's called Arbery Whistles. For this one, you have, for those who have subbed, the beautiful hup emote. So prepare your hups. Hup! Well done, Cathador and Chris and ECD. Beautiful. More hups. This is the hup train. Yes, they're beautiful. Here we go. When me and Julia eventually meet up to do our collab, I really want to do this one with her because I wrote out the flute part and we could totally do it as a duet. That would be so fun. But she'd have to say hup, obviously. Very important. Can you add fake plastic trees to your repertoire? I have been slacking on adding, well, not slacking, I promise. Adding new singing songs. I can look into it though. I try not to have too many songs by the same artist. Just to like force myself to learn a wider range of things. But who knows, maybe. Wait, because you donated earlier, right? Did I ever thank you for that? I don't think I did. Oh, if that's the case, no. With my events on OBS, it doesn't show me the donos, but I can get it when I go over to the dashboard on Stream Elements. So this says, let me scroll back. It was you for 1337. Thank you so much, Ibika. I don't remember thanking you. I'm so sorry I didn't do that earlier. I really appreciate it. Thank you. So let's see here. We did our loops. Maybe I want to... Why don't we actually check out the songs that I'm going to be recording? Because Jesse is going to come over in like an hour and a half, and I have a recording session with him. He is the leader of the band I'm a part of, Creature Comfort. I asked him permission to practice these tracks live on stream. So I would like to do each of these like twice, maybe. There's only 2. And who knows, if people are interested, maybe I'll do more and kind of explain how I come up with parts for the violin if I've been asked to record for a singer-songwriter. Let me download both of these because I'll need to have them downloaded anyway when he comes over. But Jesse is truly, in my opinion, I think one of the best songwriters that I've met here in Nashville. He has also like my favorite male voice. He has a beautiful voice. And I am honored to be on this album with him and the rest of the band. Everyone is so talented and so kind. And I just feel so supported and cared for by this group of guys. And I just have all the love in my heart for them. And these are not done. These are like the very naked, stripped tracks that you are about to hear. What we ended up doing was we went to a cabin that's one of the band members' like family places that they all share and go to. And so we packed up our band van full of microphones, mic stands, and every single cable in the whole world, probably. And we drove up to right outside of like Asheville, North Carolina. And we set up the cabin. We cleared out the living room and just set up all of the mics and everything we need, the computer and everything. And we spent the next 5 days recording from morning until nighttime. And, you know, of course, like you gotta eat and hang out too. So we would take breaks and like make dinner all together, and at night go outside and just sit and look at the stars, which were so clear out there. It was so beautiful, and just talk. And it was such a healing, wonderful, beautiful trip with some of my favorite people in the world. So we tracked these 2 up there, one of which you'll hear Jesse playing the guitar, and he's actually singing outside, and you can hear like some birds and things in the background. And Al, who plays the piano, he's like the aux player. He plays guitar, piano, banjo, and he also sings songs as well, and writes songs as well. These 2 songs feature mostly the 3 of us. They're softer moments on the album. So I have them loaded here. That's what we're going to do. Might as well jump into it now. I kind of want to grab like a notebook. Oh, there's one right here. To make notes for myself. When I'm about to record on someone's album, what I've learned for me that works, everyone has different things that work for them. If I plan out exactly what I'm going to play, that usually bites me in the butt. Because what if the songwriter is like, hey, I like that, but I don't think it's what I want for the song. Can you try something else? And if you get stuck with this one part and that's like the only thing that you can think of, it's really hard to break that. So what I usually do when I am hired to play on a song is I like to write down the first note I want to come in on for phrases, and then leave the rest up to me for like improv. So I might write for a verse, for example. A verse is typically like, I don't know, 30 seconds. I'll write 4 notes. Because usually I'll play like 4 little improv bits, and I'll write the first note that I want to start on. And having that much commitment helps me not overthink it, but it also doesn't overplan so that I have space to be able to be more free and be more adaptable if the artist says, hey, try something else. Because ultimately, when you're in the studio, almost every single take, they'll be like, great, we got it, but can you do something else so we have it just in case? And you want to give them as many options as possible, so you don't want to get too married to like one idea. You know what I mean? So I have a notebook here for that. I've loaded the tracks and those are ready to go. I think before we start this segment, I'm going to take my second break. We're just shy of 2 hours. I like to take a couple minutes at the top of each hour just to like chill for a second. And then let's listen to these songs. This was an exclusive first time listen. I got permission from the songwriter and my dear friend Jesse, if you would mind if I showed everybody. So I will I'll show you that. All right. I'll be back in just a couple minutes, y'all. And then we're going to try and figure out what the heck I'm going to record in a couple hours. Love y'all. Okay, I am back. Thank you guys. Let me take that second quick break there. Decisive battle. Okay, let's knock out that priority request before I get into the premiere. Well, it's not even a premiere. The sneak peek of the tracks I'm working on with my band Creature Comfort. So let's do that, and I will close the request while we're doing that. Ta-da! For Decisive Battle from Final Fantasy VI, right? Am I reading that right? Yeah. I feel like this one could make a very interesting loop one day. No, Peter, you gifted 10 subs and a triumphant effort to try and get me to sing the poop song. And that was super generous, and I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Here it is. So I want to make sure I thank you properly, as that was super generous. I kind of want to listen to Decisive Battle for just a second before I play it, because I do like the idea of looping this. Since, the Final Fantasy VI game was released so early on, I sometimes don't play the soundtrack as much, because I feel like it might not sound as good with the violin on top of it. But I really like it, which is why I did Devil's Lap as a loop. Whoa, this one sounds different, but I like it. This is a cover, but I like it, so let's just commit to it. So this is clearly a cover. They had the artwork for the soundtrack, so I figured it would be that. But that being said, everyone is agreeing that this is super epic, so I definitely want to give credit where credit is due. This was... It just says SSH. I'm going to put a link to this in the chat to give proper credit to this wonderful cover, because I obviously didn't ask permission, and I want to give them proper credit. Whenever I do... For Cathador, we're on the same page. Whenever I have played over a different artist's rendition, I always make a point to ask them permission in advance, because some people aren't okay with that. I learned that the hard way, actually. On my early days on Twitch, I used to play over any requests that people would put in chat. And someone sent me a link to someone live streaming. And I guess they were the one that wrote the song that I was improvising over. And they were furious. They were so mad. It was so awkward. And it made me just like totally go in on myself. Don't ask me who it was. I sincerely don't remember. That was like 5 years ago. But yeah, someone sent me a link to another streamer that wrote a song, and I did improv over it. And someone, clearly with a mean intent, saw them getting mad and sent that clip to me without telling me what the clip was. But I just saw the streamer being like, she's ruining it. Like, she's playing over the lyrics. Like, this is so unacceptable. Like, she's just using other people to climb ahead in life. And it was so brutal. It was so hard to watch. It was so sad. Oh, no. So ever since then, if I ever play over someone else's music, I always want to message them first and be like, hey, is this okay? Is that okay? Because even if you give a shout out, sometimes if you give a shout out, they're still not okay with it, which again was that situation. Don't worry, I'm not telling that story to make people feel bad for me. That was so long ago, and like that's way in the past. But it was definitely a shock to see. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe this. But anyway, we are going to move on. This is something I haven't done on stream before, but I have a recording session, like I mentioned, in like an hour and a half, and I have the 2 tracks here. I asked the artist permission, who's also my friend and bandmate. I am recording for this band that I play for here in Nashville. We are called Creature Comfort. You can find Creature Comfort on all of your streaming services, Spotify, YouTube, all of the things. And we are doing the last 2 songs that require violin today. So I'm going to listen to them with you guys and make some notes for myself for what I might want to try and do. I've not tried these before, so you are going to see a very honest first attempt. I've been training doing improv and stuff for the last like 10 years here in Nashville, because most sessions for behind the scenes, at least in Nashville that I've experienced, if you are hired to be a violinist on a session, you often have to go to the studio without even having heard the track before, and they expect you to just be able to do it. Especially if they give you a chart that has the chords on it, they use Nashville numbers sometimes, which are just numbers representing chords. So I get handed a paper that says 1 2 5 6 2 1 verse, chorus 4 5 1 5 6 2 5 1, and that's all the information I got. And you're just supposed to be able to do it. So I've had a lot of practice with this. It's still kind of scary to do. But these are my friends, and I have heard this song when we recorded it in the mountains, but we also recorded like 18 other songs. So I'm going to listen with you guys and write some notes for myself, and I can explain it. If people have any questions, please let me know. But I'm about to show you 2 of the rawest tracks on the album. They're going to be very, very stripped down and quiet. They're obviously not mixed, mastered, finished, but I would love to introduce you guys to the band I play with here. I adore them, and they're my best friends, and I hope you like it. Okay, should we start with Loophole, Immortality, or Another Dollar Down? I'm going to start with Loophole, Immortality.
head, even as the cold rain falls. And I can see as far as an eagle's eye and watch the creatures as they crawl. I've been traveling for a little while. I've been traveling without a smile from you. If all this distance makes the heart grow stronger, why did all the dreams stop too? There's a loophole in morality. Behind the hands no one can see you. Divvy up your honesty. Yes, you drink a glass of wine, and my only hope is to achieve perfection that's inside of me. And even though it's killing me, at least I know I died trying. Golden locks hang off of your head, falling down on both of the sides. You were born in your father's arms, still the twinkle left in his eyes. This old war has left me thinking. This old war has made me walk for miles. And there's a real fine line between living and dying. You don't wanna be a bastard child, not a child. 'Cause there's a loophole in morality. Behind the hands no one can see you. Divvy up your honesty as you drink a glass of wine. And my only hope is to achieve perfection that's inside of me. And even though it's killing me, at least I know I died trying.
Okay. So we're trying to decide if we want to do those drums in there. I really like the drums, so I think it's kind of fun. Like, it's very out of character for what we typically record. But I already feel like I have some good intel here. So what I'm writing down for people who are curious, again, this is prep for a recording session I have later tonight, is usually what I like to do is write out the first note that I want to enter on, and it helps me figure out at least somewhat of a structure without chaining down creativity too much. So one thing I really liked is typically the way I do my fills for violins for sessions is I shut up when the singer is singing their lyrics, and I enter right when they're about to finish the phrase. So that happens like 4 times in the first verse. So I want to write 4 notes to enter on. I really like this expression. And then I'll not write anything after and give me space to do like. Usually, for myself as a violinist, what I like to do is start lower. If you think about kind of like, you know, anything entertainment form, it never stops at, or starts rather, at the peak of it. So for me, I like to think of my parts where I start lower in the range and then go higher with the violin to build some excitement, and then to go back down. So that's my goal with the verse, thinking of playing notes lower on my range, going up and then going down. And then for the chorus, kind of starting that middle section. The middle section has really pretty harmonies between Jesse and Al. So I can either play a third harmony with them as long notes or break it up by doing a rhythmic, simple thing behind them. I don't know what the call will be yet. Me and Jesse will talk about that when we actually record later today. But what I'm going to do is do this one more time and make a couple more notes. I have already kind of an idea. The extra thing that I like to do for sessions, if the song is calling for it, is make my own melody, usually like 4 or 5 notes, and that's it. You want to keep it simple and have it reappear throughout the piece to give another kind of theme that will come back and forth with it. So let's listen to this one more time and then I'll write a couple more notes. And again, I'm very open to feedback. I've not done this sort of thing on Twitch before, but if you guys find it interesting to see some of the behind the scenes of what I do outside of Twitch, because I do recording sessions like this, I play for bands, I also, I do teaching and a bunch of other things. If you want more of these sort of moments on Twitch, please let me know, because the feedback really helps. Bad Friend and Raphael, thank you for the follows. It's not necessarily an improv class, but I think at least what I'm trying to do is show how I make the violin fit in when I'm asked to be a part of something. I think the key thing is that when I was, sorry, the reverb was on for this mic. I think the key thing I found with myself is when I was more just starting in the scene and doing these sort of things, I had a habit of overplaying. And as you do more and more of it, you start to learn the power of a singular note. And sometimes I'll only play one note in a verse, and it's exactly what the song needs. Learning that sort of restraint is really hard, and you get more of a handle on it the more you do it. But essentially, my job in this, like, kind of a song, especially something as soft as what we just heard, I need to do whatever I can to make the lyrics and the voice shine. So if I distract from that by just shredding all up and down, that's cool, but it might take away from the purpose. There's times where you can shred and do stuff like that, but I always start at a base minimum and make sure that I know where the voice needs to be heard and where I can support that. It's nice the way you say, make the violin fit, because it's such a beautiful instrument that's difficult for violin to not take the main role. I mean, yeah, I do think that there is a lot of truth to that. Like, if you're playing the whole time over it, and if I got hired to play this and I sent them a track with like an amazing solo the whole way through, it's their project. So they might not want that and might not be able to use it if you do that. So you need to figure out kind of where that balance is. And almost always there's like a solo section where the vocals are cut out. And usually that's when they're like, okay, this is where you do it. And I can talk about that when we get there. But I would like to do this one more time. I've made notes for myself for the high notes I want to enter on, but I don't know where I want to enter on in the beginning. I noticed when I did the major third, I didn't like that as much, so I'm going to write G sharp no, because I didn't like that. But also, I think the last note I'll say is I try also for my first couple rounds to not play the same notes that the vocalist is doing. So I try to find, the opportunities above and below. I didn't like the G sharp when I did it, so we're going to try some other ones. So I'm going to do this one more time, and then let's do it with the other song, and we'll be good.
2, 3, 4.
My violin mic was muted. I like that entrance point that I started. It lets the guitar start, and then the violin, and then the piano comes in, so it'll have a nice build. Wrong button. Sorry.
3, 4.
The sky's hanging over my head, even as the cold rain falls.
I'm gonna really do this how I usually do and not try and edit it to make the most, consistent streaming performance possible. I have ideas. I like what I did there, but it got too busy at the end, so I gotta fade it out before the vocal comes in.
2, 3, 4.
The sky's hanging over my head, even as the cold rain falls. And I can see as far as an eagle's eye and watch the creatures as they crawl. I've been traveling for a little while. I've been traveling without a smile from you. If all this distance makes the heart grow stronger, why did all the dreams stop too? There's a loophole in morality. Behind the hands no one can see you. Divvy up your honesty. Yes, you drink a glass of wine, and my only hope is to achieve perfection that's inside of me. And even though it's killing me, at least I know I died trying.
The end of the chorus, when those vocals go up, I need to cut out entirely and let that shine. I feel like it's a nice vulnerable moment. I feel like I have the notes I need for the verses. If you're curious, what I wrote down is that my first entrance is a G sharp, and I liked that, and to fade before vocal. And then I'm gonna start my first set of runs focusing on D and slowly working my way up to the high E when I went for those high notes. And then for the chorus, I still don't know what I should do. I kind of like flowing in between them instead of just doing long notes. Their harmony is so pretty. So let's see, that would be... Oh, so that's I think an A minor there. Okay. Now I won't pause probably for the rest of it. I just wanted to make my last notes for myself. Shorter and softer notes. Yeah, let's try that. And since the chorus doubles, I feel like I should start with lower notes in the beginning and then maybe go up an octave to bring a nice variety to it. So maybe I'll start on the low B and work my way up and make them a bit more short. All right, let's do it one more time. And again, this is one of the tracks that will be released on our next album, and it's called Loophole in Morality.
2, 3, 4.
Clear skies hanging over my head, even as the cold rain falls. And I can see as far as an eagle's eye and watch the creatures as they crawl. I've been traveling for a little while. I've been traveling without a smile from you. If all this distance makes the heart grow stronger, why did all the dreams stop too? There's a loophole in morality. Behind the hands no one can see you. Divvy up your honesty. Yes, you drink a glass of wine. My only hope is to achieve perfection that's inside of me. And even though it's killing me, at least I know I died trying.
I forgot to fade out there. That's okay though. So this would be a good opportunity for a solo.
Golden locks hang off of your head, falling down on both of the sides. You were born in your father's arms, still the twinkle left in his eyes.
think I have what I need to at least go into it with a vague idea. Obviously I've recorded with these guys a bunch too, so I know some of the things that they might like for me to do. I just have to remind myself to chill at the end of the chorus. Since it keeps going up, it makes me want to go up with it, but I gotta chill for that. So I think that's all I need for that. E major. I didn't even know the key while I was going through it. Joe. I was just playing by ear. Okay, so here's our second track. This will be the last of the two. I just have these two to do today. And this one's called Another Dollar Down. Oh, this is the one we recorded outside like really early in the morning. And if you listen closely, you can hear all the birds and stuff outside.
Sunrise on the Vegas Strip, another dollar down. Promised land on steroids, tell me burn this city down. My intuition left me a couple miles away when I rolled the dice. Slot machines are calling like a siren sings a song. Quarters, dimes, and pennies just so you can sing along. Pretending to be famous, pretending to be fine, wasting your time. Sunset on the boulevard, I'm done with broken dreams. Apathy has left me with my youth, and so it seems. I can't connect so carelessly with broken-hearted things that ramble on. I don't want to do to you what I swore I never do. I can see the promises through. And when the night time bogs us down, daylight's sure to come around. I can hear the chirping sounds.
Oh, that's it? Oh, I remember. So that's it. I think we were thinking of making this the first song on the album. It's just a short little introduction in a very raw setting. So I have to be, if this is the first song, I have to keep that in mind with what I play over it and not make it too complicated. I think it's really just gonna need long whole notes, honestly. It's tempting to harmonize that chorus with him. Let's try one more time. It's so short. The song is like very short. So definitely just him to begin. Then maybe here.
Sunrise on the Vegas Strip, another dollar down. Promised land on steroids, tell me burn this city down. My intuition left me a couple miles away when I rolled the dice. Slot machines are calling like a siren sings a song. Quarters, dimes, and pennies just so you can sing along. Pretending to be famous, pretending to be fine, wasting your time. Sunset on the boulevard, I'm done with broken dreams. Apathy has left me with my youth, and so it seems. I can't connect so carelessly with broken-hearted things that ramble on.
So let's see.
And I don't want to do to you what I swore I never do. I can see the promise
time bogs us down. Daylight's sure to come around. I can hear the chirping sounds.
Okay. My notes for myself, I want to stay in the range of low A to E for the first verse, very subtle. And then for the chorus, start on A, an octave up. I'm just trying to decide how much the violin should match his voice on the second part, or if I should just chill and only match a couple. I think that's probably the vibe. Okay, I'm gonna do this one last time, and I feel like I'll have done everything I needed to get ready for the session. But thank you guys for letting me try something different on stream by showing you me prepping for a recording session. It's kind of fun getting the feedback. Oh, I sent a rehearsal mark at the middle section. Let's do this last one more time. Another dollar down. Chris, what's up? How are you?
Sunrise on the Vegas Strip, another dollar down. Promised land on steroids, tell me burn this city down. My intuition left me a couple miles away when I rolled the dice. Slot machines are calling like a siren sings a song. Quarters, dimes, and pennies just so you can sing along. Pretending to be famous, pretending to be fine, wasting your time. Sunset on the boulevard, I'm done with broken dreams. Apathy has left me with my youth, and so it seems. I can't connect so carelessly with broken-hearted things that ramble on. I don't want to do to you what I swore I never do. I can see the promises through. And when the night time bogs us down, daylight's sure to come around. I can hear the chirping sounds.
All right. I feel like I have enough of a plan to get going for this session, and I feel like I'm in a good spot. Of course, you know, again, like I said, I definitely don't want to get too committed to any part before I meet with him. So I just made a couple notes of some ideas I have, but still with a lot of freedom so that, you know, if Jesse comes in and is like, wait, I want you to play like a ripping solo over that soft song that you just did, I'd be able to do it without having been so locked into what I did previously. Let's see. I think I'm just going to play like a couple songs before we wrap it up for today so that I have enough time to get dinner before Jesse gets here. Maybe I'll just do like one more. Yeah, like I love talking about this stuff so much. So if people want to hear me talk about it, I'm more than happy to answer any questions or show more of kind of what that process looks like. Seeing how soft and pretty those were, I'm going to end with a soft, pretty song that I absolutely adore from Final Fantasy IX. Those who watch the channel a lot probably know already what I'm going to do. I want to do Frontier Village Dolly. It is one of my absolute favorites. It is soft, it is gorgeous, it is comforting. It is a hug personified in a piece, and I love it. So we're going to do that to finish up today. I will be live most likely on Thursday. I'm flying out Thursday evening to Salt Lake City to visit my cousin who is taking me to a jam in the desert where a bunch of old-time musicians are going to meet up and play music in a desert and go camping. And I was like, heck yeah, I want to do that. So, assuming I don't need to do any prep before that, I'm going to plan on streaming on Thursday. I typically stream at 3 p.m., but in order to have enough time, I'm going to start at 11 a.m. Oh my gosh, Trip said maybe I could read my new book on the plane. This one, I mean, that would be a really good conversation starter if I'm looking to have a buddy on the plane. So maybe that will be the book I read on the plane. All right, let's tie this guy up. If you were new today and enjoyed the stream, I hope you consider following and coming back sometime. I typically stream longer than I did today, but again, I have a recording session to do after today, so I just want to leave enough time to take care of myself. So we're going to end today on Frontier Village Dolly, and I will be back most likely on Thursday. If that doesn't end up happening, I will pin a message in chat to let you guys know here on Twitch, as well as do an alert on the Discord. And all the other social medias you'll see in the bottom right corner of the screen if you want to see what I'm up to. In the desert. I love that song so much. It's so pretty. I finally got it, Doc, but it took me a second. When you said try the creme brulee, I was like, is that like a thing in Salt Lake City? Or I got. I didn't get it, but I get it now. You guys are talking about desserts, but I'm going to a desert, not a dessert. I got there eventually. For Jojo, welcome. Lurking in your stream the other day for lovely trip. Love that. All right, y'all. It was so horrific that I didn't even get it. But everyone, once again, thank you so much. I will be live most likely on Thursday. If there's any change, I will let you know in a pinned chat here, as well as the Discord. But let's take a look at who is live. I know I went a little shorter today, but I got a recording session I gotta run too. So let's see who is live right now. I always like to take an extra moment to see if there's someone I haven't had the chance to say hi to in a while. So we're just taking a little looky-loo. Ooh, I haven't seen this friend in a while. Friend. For Tokenosaur, thank you very much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Dr. Yellow, hi bye. Kind of playing the banjo on a song by the band. No more puns. My brain can't do it. You just saw it. You just saw that I can't do it. My brain just can't accept it. I could have sworn I saw a birthday stream. There we go. Let's go visit Maxidrums. I haven't seen him in a long time. And he's a super nice, rad guy who plays drums. I guess it's their birthday. So, yeah, again, I'm planning on going live on Thursday. If there's any interruption to that, I will let you know with a pin chat here as well as over on Discord. And that will be the last stream of the week. Yes, I'm going to Salt Lake City for that jam this weekend. I do fly back Friday evening. I get in quite late, so I will stream on Monday, but I might want to take a little time that morning to like unpack and just be a human. But I will let you guys know as we get closer to that date, any changes in next week's schedule. Thank you so much for the support and the love today. You guys mean the world to me. Your power went out. Thunderstorm. Oh, be safe, my friend. Thank you for watching and the gift subs earlier, Peter. Thank you. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go eat some frozen food in my freezer. Bye.